Hello YouTube! Today I'll be using a 6-block machine I call Deep 6 to defeat all 20 current levels of Besiege. I'm pretty sure this is the machine with the fewest blocks to beat all 20 current levels, but it's also worth noting that this machine was made possible by editing its BSG file. My best without editing the BSG file is the 8-block machine pictured in the lower right, which I call the Wheel in the Sky. Specifically, editing let me put the flying spiral and the balloon both on the top center spot, whereas without editing I'd have to put a balloon on each side to achieve stable flight. I also shifted the starting block forward to use it as ballast to get motion along the ground, whereas without editing I'd have to add another part for ballast. So overall, editing the BSG file took me from 8 pieces down to 6. Unfortunately, the ballast can't be shifted very far forward, so it doesn't give me as much ground speed as I'd like. And since there's no real weapon after the bomb is dropped, some levels take a really long time. I suppose I could have called this machine Goodyear, because it uses a balloon for lift and it takes a year to do anything. Joking aside, I did fast forward through a couple of the longer, more repetitive levels to save a few minutes. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Oh, and there's one more thing I'd like to mention. As with all of my minimum block record attempts, I am also making it a goal to keep my machine intact at the end of each level, and to complete each level without the aid of slow motion. You can beat this level without even touching the ground. You can fly over the tents, which leads the knights to follow you and knock over the tents, then fly over the archers, and when the knights and the archers are in the same place, you can bomb them all. But I did it this way just because it's quicker. You can see the glitch I pointed out last video at the end of this level. At the top of the screen, it says I only used 4 blocks instead of 6. Speaking of glitches, what the hell? I don't know what that was, but on to the next level, in which I destroy a beautiful monument for no reason. This level takes a long time, but there's not much to it. Just get as many sheep as you can with the bomb, then group them together and land on them. Lather, rinse, repeat. By the way, I've noticed that since the update, sheep no longer die from falls no matter how high they're dropped. I suppose it's because the sheep used to commit suicide off the ledges in this level, and the developers changed it because they thought they made the level too easy. You can kill most of these knights by landing on them, or by lifting and dropping them with a grabber. For the 2 hard to reach knights, you'll want to use a gold bar. It's light to pick up, but when dropped, it hits with enough force to break the stone roofs blocking the two knights. I was able to beat this level with my 5-block machine that I call High 5, which I used to beat all 15 levels of Ipsilon in my first video, but the following 4 levels caught me off guard in interesting and creative ways. It makes me wonder what challenges the next additional levels will bring. On a stylistic note, I'd also like to add that I enjoyed the rainy atmosphere of Tolbrynd. Like the sheep level, there's nothing too exciting here. Just hover around where the birds are flying until you get them all. Dogfights are considerably less exciting when they're done with balloons, but here we go anyway. Even though this level took me a long time, it's a bit tricky, so I'll play it in real time. First, I'll bomb the second closest freighter because it has a cage underneath. The pieces of the cage in the wreckage are much lighter to lift than the rest of the debris. The secret to taking down each freighter is to use a piece of the cage to jam its props, then immediately release the grabber. If you just drop the cage piece on the freighter, it won't do anything. The flyer's mass has to be there as well. Fortunately, in this playthrough, The shrapnel from the one freighter I bombed took out another freighter, so that'll make things a little easier. I have to be really particular about weight distribution when I pick up something, so this might get frustrating to watch. Please bear with me. Well, that's my playthrough. I plan to continue my minimum block runs as they add more levels, and design other types of vehicles as well, so please subscribe if you're interested. Bye for now.